Today we're going to talk about outgoing payments and the risks associated with that to companies. With us is Ofer Brown, an expert from fraud and payment from nsKnox. Hi, Ofer.
Hi, Ran.
Ofer, we saw that in PwC recent survey from economic crime and fraud, that cybercrime is on the rise for several years, and we see that from each type of companies. What can you tell us about cybercrime and B2B payments fraud?
So cybercrime in B2B payments is everything to do with manipulating payment from companies into paying a wrong bank account. So the bank accounts will be owned by fraudsters. These kind of attacks can be internal fraud committed by finance teams, IT person, IT finance that has access to payment system or can get access to payment systems. It can be also an external attack. And in the latest PwC report, and we see it also, we see a trend of external attacks on corporates. These attacks can be either a cyber attack or it can be a simple social engineering attack, tricking the company into paying the wrong bank accounts. Did you know that according to the latest FBI report, $43 billion were reported lost due to BEC, business email compromise? And this is reported, so I strongly believe the numbers are much, much higher.
Wow, that's a really high number. So how come we don't hear about BEC in the news?
So it's a good question with a simple answer. When you have a ransom attack, which is obviously you hear about it a lot, the interest of the attacker is to put the company into pressure because the attacker has access to the company data, but in order to monetize it, they need to put the company into pressure, and usually the way to do it is actually to publish it. While in a BSC attack, the attacker actually steals money directly from the payments, so his interest is to keep it quiet and continue doing that. When it is detected, the company will definitely don't want to publish it because above the damage of losing money for fraud, they will also might have reputational damage by publishing it.
So what is in fact business email compromise and how does it happen?
So the best way to explain what is business email compromise is using a real-life example. Imagine a company paying to hundreds and maybe thousands of suppliers, and one day they get an email, a legitimate email, from a supplier asking them to change the banking details. Now, current processes would be to verify it by asking for a bank letterhead or a void check. Obviously, these are very easy to manipulate. Some company will also add a control of calling back to verify that the email was sent. Now, in this case, calling back, sometimes the contact person on the other side does not work there anymore. It may be in a different time zone. It might be in a different language even. So fraudsters do use that.
So, Ofer, what is the solution that you give to companies?
So first, we believe you need to be aware of the threat environment. You need to be aware that it's changing all the time. So fraudsters always improve, and just the latest attacks that we see and was also reported is a director that actually approved the $35 million transaction using his voice. Now, obviously, it wasn't him that approved it, but his voice cloned by fraudsters. So we suggest not to underestimate these kind of attacks. In nsKnox, what we do is we do not trust any kind of communication like email. We don't trust documents, digital documents. What we do is we trust only the information we get from banks directly. So we validate bank accounts by directly getting the information from the beneficiary bank. On top of that, we suggest to use technology in order to monitor and control and make sure all processes within the organization are followed. So we will scan the payments going out, and by that making sure that all process was followed and the account paid is the right account that you have actually wanted to pay to.
Wow, your solution sounds very smart and efficient and unique. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.